Shedeur Sanders' week goes from bad to worse as Browns decide his fate despite Kenny Pickett's injury. Remember that rookie QB sensation, lighting up college football like a pinball machine, breaking records with a flick of his wrist and ice in his veins? Yeah, Shedeur Sanders remembers that guy too. He was that guy, the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm winner. The dude who dropped 510 yards on TCU in his Colorado debut like it was a Tuesday scrimmage. The one who engineered double OT magic against Colorado State, a 98-yard drive that felt ripped straight from a video game cutscene. Pure, unscripted clutch. Now, in the gritty, sweat-stained reality of Cleveland Browns training camp, the view is decidedly different, fourth string. Behind a 40-year-old veteran, Joe Flacco, a first-rounder whose star has dimmed, and another rookie drafted 2 rounds ahead. It's the NFL's version of that brutal Madden franchise mode moment where your 99-rated college star suddenly has a 68 overall rating. Welcome to the league, Rook. Let's be blunt. Shedeur Sanders' camp trajectory has been a roller coaster nobody quite expected after his dazzling spring. During OTAs and minicamp, he looked like the steal of the draft, completing a blistering 77.4% of his throws, 41 53rds, 49 TDs against just 1 INT. The numbers screamed franchise potential, whispers of a fifth-round heist echoed. Fast forward to the opening days of the real training camp. Reality bit hard. Day 1 saw him complete a shaky 3 of 8 passes in team drills while Joe Flacco looked pristine, 5-5 TD, and Kenny Pickett efficient, 6-7. The air seemed to leak out of the hype balloon. The starkest evidence of his current standing? He's the only Browns QB not taking a single rep with the number 1 offense. 0. Zilch. Nada. Dillon Gabriel, the third-rounder, gets those precious snaps with the starters, 7-7 1 TD. Shedeur? Well, he's grinding with the 2s and 3s and spending extra time in those post-practice opportunity periods designed for depth chart climbers. Just when the Browns' murky QB picture couldn't get murkier, Kenny Pickett, the early camp leader for first-team reps, pulled up lame. Pickett's pain, Shedeur Sanders' pause? July 27th. A red zone drill. Rolling right, touchdown pass, hamstring tweak. Cue the collective groan from Berea. Pickett, the former first-rounder trying to resurrect his career after a journeyman stint, including a Super Bowl ring as a Philly backup, now faces an evaluation period. Hamstrings are fickle. Reps are gold in camp. This should have been Shedeur's moment to pounce, a crack in the door flung wide open by fate. Yet the Browns' decision-makers, staring down a crowded room, Flacco's steady hand, Gabriel's quick study adaptation, Pickett's experience, and Sanders' raw upside, haven't shuffled the deck in his favor. As one insider noted, the vibe is less next man up for Sanders and more stay the course. That stings. But here's the thing about Shedeur Sanders. History tells us he thrives when counted out. Remember trailing Southern in 21? Celebration Bowl pressure in 22? That 11-point deficit to CSU? Dude has clutch coded into his DNA. And maybe, just maybe, Saturday offered a flicker of that old magic. It was his busiest, brightest day yet. He zipped a confident touchdown on a crossing route to undrafted rookie receiver Luke Floria. Then, in the red zone 7-on-7 drill, often a crucible for QBs, he delivered back-to-back touchdown passes. For the first time, he commanded the entire session on the second field, getting roughly 10 valuable snaps all to himself. Shedeur Sanders steps up on Saturday, the reports declared. It wasn't a seismic shift, but it was a vital correction. A reminder of the elite accuracy, 74% comp in his final Colorado season, and poise that made him a record dash breaker. So, where does this leave the son of prime time? Still firmly in the waiting room. The Browns' plan seems clear. Flacco is the safe week 1 bet given his 18 years of system knowledge. Gabriel's third-round pedigree and processing speed earn him developmental priority. Pickett's experience keeps him in the mix, injury pending. And Sanders? He's the intriguing, high-upside project. The one whose college resume, 14,347 yards, 134 TDs, screams potential, but whose NFL concerns, arm strength, athleticism, tendency to hold the ball, demand refinement. GM Andrew Berry drafted him for competition and future upside, not immediate salvation. As the Browns strap on full pads Monday, Shedeur's path isn't about leapfrogging 3 guys overnight. It's about stacking more Saturdays. About turning those opportunity periods reps into undeniable evidence. proving that the ice water veins that fueled those legendary college comebacks can thaw the frosty depth chart of an NFL training camp. The dog pound loves an underdog story. Shedeur Sanders just has to keep giving them chapters worth reading. The playbook is open. His next move is crucial. The week began with a flicker of hope. Kenny Pickett, Pittsburgh's starting quarterback and longtime AFC North rival, had gone down in a joint practice, carted off clutching his knee as trainers rushed to his side. The league buzzed with the news. Twitter speculated. Podcasts exploded. And in Berea, Ohio, murmurs swirled inside the Cleveland Browns facility like autumn wind. Could this open a door for Shedeur Sanders? It should have been a turning point. A window cracking open in a tightly shut quarterback room led by the unshakable presence of Joe Flacco, the quiet maturity of Dorian Thompson-Robinson, and the rising curiosity surrounding rookie Dillon Gabriel. But instead, for Shedeur Sanders, it marked the beginning of the worst week of his young NFL career. Monday started with a full pads practice under gray skies. Shedeur had waited his turn all morning, helmet tucked under his arm as Flacco methodically led the ones, then DTR rotated in with the twos. Finally, his number was called. First snap, bobbled. Second snap, false start. Third, pressure up the middle. He scrambled, launched a prayer to the sideline, picked off. Coaches blew whistles. Shedeur jogged off, jaw clenched, eyes straight ahead. Let it go, someone muttered on the sideline. Rough days happen. But in the film room that afternoon, there were no kind words. Stefanski paused the tape, rewound the pick, and said flatly, "This is exactly what we can't afford in a divisional race. This is not the standard." By Tuesday, the whispers grew louder. Rumors swirled that the Browns were locking in their quarterback depth chart by the weekend, despite Pickett's injury throwing the Steelers' season into chaos. The decision had nothing to do with Pittsburgh. The Browns weren't interested in capitalizing. They were focused inward. Shedeur didn't get a single first-team rep all day. Flacco looked sharper than ever, commanding the pocket like it belonged to him. DTR zipped through drills with confidence. Gabriel, even as the least experienced, started seeing red zone opportunities. Shedeur watched from behind his visor. No complaining. No excuses. But when he got home that night, he barely touched his dinner.